Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So I wanted to comment on this video from CNBC Make It because I think it brings up a lot of good points here, okay? First of all, there is a lot of money in coffee. How much, you ask? Well, what if I told you it's $141,000 a year to become what's called a Barista Champion? What is a Barista Champion, you might ask? Well, I'm about to show you on this episode of making $141,000 a year, millennial money making coffee. So with that said, thank you so much. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't done that already. And now with that said, let's begin.
I've experienced my greatest growth in competition. This whole process of creating routine really forces you as a competitor to dive into coffee topics that maybe you didn't know anything about. And that's something that I really, really enjoy.
You know what I think it is? I'm gonna be honest. It's the black turtleneck. It's very obvious to me why she's doing so well. Steve Jobs had the same black turtleneck. There's gotta be something to it. It's not a coincidence. The black turtleneck, I think, has some sort of power to it that just makes you make more money. Or you put it on, you think to yourself, man, I should be going out inventing something, being really, really, really good at one thing. That's the power of the black turtleneck. So I'm just saying, just to go into it with an open mind that that could be the reason behind a lot of this.
My name is Morgan Eckroth. I am 24 years old and I am the 2022 US Barista Champion.
I hate to say it, but this is exactly where you'd expect a Barista Champion to live. Portland, Oregon. Maybe Seattle, okay? Just because Starbucks came from Seattle. But for some reason, this is a very Portland career. So here's the little nuance you guys got to pay attention to, okay? She made $96,000 teaching people how to be a champion barista. She made $17,000 as a barista, and then $28,000 from content marketing. So it's really, you know, the barista, I think, is a very gifted hobby that is really making her a ton of money that she was able to expand into ways that so many people are not able to do. But that just gets her foot in the door to then a much bigger industry of teaching and education and just online marketing, which is where I think the big opportunity is, but you have to be specialized in one category to exceed as well as she is, which is what she's doing.
The first kind of interaction I had with coffee was when I was 16. I got my driver's license on my birthday, and I had this moment where I was like, I'm gonna go get coffee before I go back to school. And it's gonna be very cool, and I'll walk in with like keys and a cup, and it's gonna be great. And that was essentially the beginning of the end.
Oh man, see, just apply that towards any other substance and it would sound like a completely different story. Like, oh, I tried that one time and I was hooked. Depends what you get though, because my foray into coffee all started with the Starbucks Mocha Frappuccino. Don't tell me how I came across this one day, but I got a Starbucks Frappuccino and I loved it. And there's something about it. And then I graduated from that, and then I eventually went into the caramel macchiato frappuccinos, or the caramel frappuccinos, whatever they are. Then I graduated from that to the caramel macchiato, and then each step, it went from like super sweet, less sweet, less sweet, less sweet, less sweet, and pretty soon I'm just chugging black coffee every day, every morning.
The first, I think, coffee viral video that I did was one of me very simply pouring latte art. It was a video I would have posted on Instagram, but it got like millions of views on TikTok, and it sparked a thought of like, what else can I share about this job that people might not know?
Yeah, see, that foam art, I have no idea how they do it. It's kind of crazy. But you know what? Teaching people how to do it, it's a good party trick, you know? You're out with your buds, you bring them back to your place, you're like, yo guys, I know it's late, but watch this. Everyone gathers around, they whip out their phones, you're the star of the party. That and bartenders would be probably, you know, doing the cool drinks where you shake it and throw it up and catch it in the back, and you do the stuff like that. It's just cool. So I could definitely see this going over well, especially on social media. Everyone wants to know how to do it.
I have essentially 3 income streams nowadays. So I have Morgan Drinks Coffee, which I'm salaried to. I also work for Onyx Coffee Lab as a content marketing specialist. I do that a bit under full-time hours, and then I still work as a barista. It's part-time hours for sure.
Why work at a barista though? I have to say, given her income, unless it's just to practice all the time, which she could be doing at home anyway, I would say her time is best spent expanding on the social media side of things, because she's way, way, way underpaid, unless she just loves what she's doing. She likes the routine of coming in. She could pick her hours. She could decide last minute she's got something better to do. But man, her opportunity cost is so high for doing that, unless of course she just loves it.
You as a competitor are serving an espresso course, you're serving a milk course, which is just milk and espresso, and then you have a signature beverage, and that's kind of like your showstopper, and you have like full creativity with that beverage.
Oh man, she could tear it up, starting her own like coffee company, combine that with, perhaps she could collab with BankrollCoffee.com, which is my coffee company. If you guys are interested, this is what I'm drinking right now. This is the 20-cent iced coffee, and it is absolutely delicious. It's such a fine powder when you get it, which really makes the coffee have a really cool, rich taste to it. So if you want to check it out, BankrollCoffee.com, and I believe we're running a temporary promotion right now, so you can get a bit of a discount, but BankrollCoffee.com, you want to try it.
And then comes the creation of drinks and rehearsing. For me, that process usually takes a couple weeks, but by the end of it, you could be whacking me and I could still be going off of my routine and not pausing, it needs to be that tuned in.
Yeah, see, that's how dedicated you have to be. If you want to get good at something, you have to be obsessive over it. You have to love it too. You could tell, she'd be doing this for free. She'd be doing it even if it wasn't a competition. This is not something that you go into and you're like, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of money doing this. I hate coffee, but it is money in it. It just doesn't work like that. You have to be so into it, just one focus, and for her, this is it.
My theme at the USBC was really talking about how we can use digital tools to kind of expand the world of coffee.
It's now, through digital media, that we're able to step into the homes of those who will drive this industry forward.
Oh man, that's tough having to talk over that too. Imagine middle of competition, you have to give a TED talk on top of all of that. I don't know how you multitask that. You gotta get so good at this that you just kind of instinctively just do it without even thinking. Onyx Coffee, come on. I would be paying way more than that. If she wants Bankroll Coffee to do this, I'll pay her $1,500. I just want to beat Onyx Coffee.
Our first place winner and the 2022 Barista Champion, moving on to Melbourne, is Morgan Eckroth.
Yeah, it makes me happy for her. You know what? For a second there, I'm like, what if she doesn't get it? What if she comes in second place or something like that? But no, I'm happy for her. Again, you could see her passion and her excitement coming out when she's talking about this, even in the moment. She's really into it. You have to be.
For a couple weeks was all right, that was it. You're not competing anymore. You did it. Good job. You can check out now. And that lasted, I think, for about 2 to 3 weeks. And then that itch came back where I was you can do better than that. I want to compete because I have more that I want to say on the stage.
Yeah, again, this is fantastic, and I think the real takeaways here is that if you love what you do and you have a bit of a business mindset to see ooh, how can I monetize this, it's going to do well. And I think that's something really important for everyone watching just to keep in mind. Find out what you're really good at, where your passions are, what you would do for free, and then make money doing it. That's step number 4. But overall, yeah, the barista's not making the money. It's everything else involving that. All the little sub-businesses that she's doing. So I'm all for it. I think it's fantastic. And what I also think would be fantastic is if you get a free stock with their paid sponsor, Public.com, down below in the description, because that could be worth all the way up to $1,000 when you use the code GRAHAM and make a deposit. So enjoy that free stock. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. Feel free to add me on Instagram, GPStefan, and until next time.